Morning.
Morning.
We're talking about inspiring children today.
Inspiring children. That would generally not be our jobs, though.
I know, but sometimes I really like it. I like, trying to, now, contrary to popular belief, since we don't have our own.
No, we borrow other people.
Yes, well.
And send them home.
But, the other people sometimes need inspiration, as I've noticed. But it all seems to work out. But what I think we're going to talk about today is, of course, a New York Times article.
Yeah, because there was nothing in the Dayton
Daily News. Exactly. And this was about trying to encourage children and to take up computing because...
But not take up computing like the way we teach computing now.
Yes, or like learning how to do Word or Excel or actually doing coding.
Yeah,
but actually...
That's really not what computing's about.
Computing is about all kinds of things. Like, yes. This is a computer.
iPhone.
And can it inspire? Well, obviously people are inspired by it because it can be do a lot of different things. But you can also inspire other people to figure out how it works by hacking it.
Yes. And hackers are not all bad.
Yes, because hacking sometimes, the forbidden fruit kind of thing is that you can inspire children to, and if you look at the article, it says the more you understand how computer works and how the system operates, that increases thinking, critical thinking, which is another trait that we'd like to have our children understand.
It's something that's sort of missing out totally in this whole no child left behind thing. Critical thinking is not something you test easily.
No, and it's something kind of hard to teach. It took me a long time to figure out that this is kind of the things you have to do.
Oh, come on. You've been critical all the time.
No. Well, I didn't start getting critical
he thinks.
Till 30. But because I have a science-based background, is kind of a... You have to...
Yeah, you didn't have a choice.
You test data and those kinds of things. But you need to encourage other children to do these kinds of things. And
even in something, more liberal arts, business-wise, like marketing, you have to be able to critically think in order to solve problems. And that's all there is to it. Otherwise, you're just a monkey putting screw A into hole B.
Yeah.
And that just, those jobs are gone.
And a couple of weeks ago, Jim Shainline, I think he's the new, either the new principal or the new superintendent at Kettering Schools, had an article or an opinion piece in the Kettering Oakwood Times about those jobs being gone, and you have to encourage people to do creative thinking. And the more I read that article, I felt like that we should, I think we would be good, and there's a lot of people in Dayton that would be willing to go to public schools and private schools and kind of show how computers work and how they work for me. I got a computer.
There are programs like that. The base has a lot of people going out and working in schools, public schools, right now. I know that Mr. Lawrence over at Thurgood Marshall has people coming over from the base and working with his advanced.
I think I'd be willing to do that too. But what we need to encourage is that sometimes we say that some of these things, like hacking this phone, which I did in Romania because AT&T was $3.99 a minute if I kept it, so I had to hack it and put a Romanian card in.
I had my old iPhone hacked because it didn't have a search function. I mean, it was out of necessity.
Exactly right. But you can inspire people to say, oh, this is how this phone works. Oh, you can understand the operating system.
And there's a lot of money being made by people developing apps for iPhones.
And this is an Xbox 360.
Yes.
It's been hacked.
You might have one of those in your house.
Yes, and it's been hacked.
You can hack your TiVo. You can hack your PlayStation.
Now,
your Xbox. Your Wii. You can hack almost anything.
And you can rationalize it too, because what they'll do with you with these Xboxes is that this particular Xbox, it spins everything on that DVD drive. Well, that DVD drive is going to go bad. So if you need to hook a hard drive to it so you can access your games when the DVD drive goes bad, you really need to kind of hack it. Now, along with hacking, you kind of have to teach some sort of ethics about it, is that you got to pay for the games. Because otherwise there'll be no new games.
Yeah, because people don't really like working for free. Although Greg and I do this for free. So, hey.
But if you get another game that's not so good, why would you pay for it? You just throw it away or turn it back in. So it kind of gives you a trial thing, and as you try these games out. So the point about it is that we need to kind of inspire children to understand these computers, be inspired by them, and recognize that you're going to use them in all kinds of jobs.
And the reality is you're not going to get these kids inspired if they don't have computers.
And how inspirational is Excel?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But
My iPhone, that's inspirational.
But the school district I grew up in, Cleveland Heights, gave every student a Mac. They did that about 2 years ago, and I've written about it before. And they said it's time, the kids have to have the digital tools. I had, for my congressional campaign, I was walking around with the one laptop per child, the EXO laptop. And I'm like, this is what we've got to do. This is what we've got to put it out there. And I went to a summit at Wright State, and there was Eric Fingerhut, who also went to my high school, who is the Chancellor of Education for the state of Ohio. And he had never actually seen one of these. And I found that fascinating because here we have a laptop for $200 that they're giving away to countries in third world countries, and our own students in this country don't have them.
See these third world country right here, Russia, which I don't know what this means, so don't take offense, but they're some of the best coders in the world because they have to be efficient because they have terrible
internet connections
and terrible computers. They
Right.
have, small hard drives, small RAM, so their computer programs are very efficient. So you kind of have to explain these kind of things, and I'm not so sure the current public education people in those positions can...
Yeah, part of the problem is the people who are educators don't have the computer literacy that they need. I mean, it just hasn't. It's relatively new to them.
Hey, we'll be willing to help out. Mr. Esrati, he's the computer guy.
Yeah.
I'm a geologist with a ton of computer training.
He's a geek too.
I know. Well, as a geek, but whatever. Anyway, that's kind of the thing. I hope we kind of got to give some positive sometimes for us, and we are very positive people in spite of it.
And we'll give you a link to an article in the New York Times that talks about this.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. See ya.